What's up, guys? This is Tristan. Today, we're going over how to overcome any doubt about starting a business. If you're right there and you're feeling a little bit of skepticism, or if you're feeling a little bit of doubt, this can be the episode for you. This is going to be a podcast scenario, so sit back, relax, enjoy, get a cup of coffee, and I'm going to go over basically a 3-step process on how I was able to overcome any of that doubt, a little bit of my backdrop story. And let's get right into it. So let me just tell you about me, about my story. My name is Tristan. I played college baseball 4 years, 2 universities, 1 junior college. It's very, 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 very hard. But I took my studies seriously. I graduated in 4 years with a finance degree. I was a very good test taker. And getting a business degree, it only made sense to start a business, right? I didn't want to work with people because I knew the zombification, the zombified emotions that people can contain with a 9-to-5. I didn't want to do that route. I've seen it kill people inside, mentally, spiritually. The over and over process of going to work for someone, to work behind a cubicle, it just absolutely didn't make sense to me. So my story is late night, senior year, COVID had hit. We are getting a ton of these series canceled. I needed to figure out what I was going to do. So it was 2 a.m. I stumbled upon a YouTube page with low startup business ideas, and it came across with lawn care. And this is how I started. But I was like, you can make $70,000. You can work on yourself. You can do a schedule. You can schedule it on your own time. I thought it was an absolutely brilliant idea, and it can be. So I decided to do it. Absolutely point blank. I have a very strong belief system. So if I'm set in stone on something, then I will actually do it. I told my family I was going back home and starting a lawn care business. I got very comical laughs, some comments that I just don't do it. 95% of my close friends, family telling me that you should not do this. Now I get back home and get a real job, get this, go and do something with your life, go and do this, right? The comments that you probably hear all the time from your family or friends. Why are you doing this? This is probably not a good idea. You should just go back, go climb the ladder to your corporate world, whatever, right? And if you're hearing that at all, I have felt that with you. And so my mom flew in my aunt. We sat down for dinner. Literally told me, hey, you've got this accounting job at an accounting firm. I had gotten a job opportunity from a financial firm. Good job. Yada, yada, yada. You can do this. You can be a CPA. You can do all this. And literally looking into my eyes, telling me this is not the idea. This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. And hearing that from your family, right, it can hit hard for some people. But I knew in the back of my mind that this was going to be done. And I'm going to do this. Now, I will get to my 3-step process in a quick second, but even listening to my friends, the close friends that I had, telling me that this is not a good idea. How are you going to be able to generate income? How are you going to be able to get consistent flow? How are you going to be able to do all these things? This is a massive risk. You shouldn't be able to do this. Hearing these things throughout the entirety of my life, going into my baseball perspective, it's just complete doubt. You take these things as a grain of salt, and I'll get to this in a quick second, but this is the righteous thing to do. I'd studied a lot of books. I'd studied a lot of millionaires. A lot of the commonality of the theme was start a business, so I was a very blue-collar guy, so I wanted to fit with my strengths. So I thought this was brilliant. I'm going to do this. Now, hearing these thoughts from, I'm sure, your family, your friends, your colleagues have talked about this as an idiotic decision. And I even talked to people that, what do you do? I run this business and it looks down upon. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know about that. If you're talking to a girl, what do you do? What do you do? And it's just, some people do not recognize the perspective, and that's okay. And this is why it's not for everyone. So the 3-step process is 1, if you're feeling hopeless, it's due to a lack of knowledge. So if you lack knowledge, and this is not just within the industry, but it's within yourself. If you lack knowledge, if you're feeling hopeless, that's probably a byproduct of why. So do your due diligence. Do research on yourself. Do research on your strengths. Do research on the industry that you're going to be able to go into. 2, pivoting. You have the research. Now make a logical risk or make a logical decision. I hate the word risk, right? Because risk is a common theme where people that aren't business owners, or they don't run a business, they think, oh, this is a massive risk. Don't do it, right? But risk, you can basically instill the word decision. So make a logical decision. Now, if you have lack of results, is due to a lack of action. So you have the research, make a logical risk, and then if you don't find the results, it's due to a lack of action. And pivoting into the third point, you can find the fundamentals by doing the action over and over and over and over again. You find the boring things and you do them, and you find them, you do them. You do the boring things or the fundamentals over and over and over again, and do them very, very consistently. If you could do these 3-step processes, you will flourish. I promise you. So just to kind of regurgitate that back to you, you've got, if you're feeling hopeless, 1 is due to a lack of knowledge. 2, you have the research. Make a logical decision. And then 3, you do the boring things with the fundamentals over and over consistently. That is humongous. Pivoting into my next point, right? So the reason why you probably want to start a business is that you see the results that people have, that people want to do. But for me, it was the zombified of the 9 to 5 from a spiritual perspective. And if you want to have the results, if you don't want to be the 9 to 5, you need to establish your firm belief system on why this is a better route. Why is this a better route for you? Make that decision. Sit on it for a quick second. Dr. Jordan Peterson says, take 20 minutes just by yourself. Find your and I'm paraphrasing, but find your inner self, your inner belief system. And what is the problem? Solve it. That's it. This is a whole puzzle. Think about it from a jigsaw puzzle. It's just a big jigsaw puzzle, and you find each piece, find the base, find the perimeter, and fill in the rest. It's complex problem solving. And you can even envision it's very simple problem solving. Business is very easy to succeed if you can find the boring things and the fundamentals, and you do them over and over and over again, and you do what you say you do. You can establish a firm belief system, but just doing what you say you do. So pivoting into my next quote, you don't become confident by screaming affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. That's by Alex Hermosi. If you were confident at one point in your life, so you do not have any business experience, but you have been confident in your life at some point, at one point you were. Maybe it was yesterday, maybe it was 10 years ago. You can basically put that into a proof. That is proof that I have been confident at one point. I have been able to generate this amount before. So why wouldn't I be able to generate more? Just logically thinking. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. So stack your proofs, whatever the proofs are. It doesn't even have to be from a business perspective, but I've been able to accomplish A, B, C, D, E, F, and logically, that would make sense that I can accomplish G, whatever it is. That is point blank. For me, from a business perspective, if I've been able to accumulate $1,000 job, a $5,000 job, $10,000 job, $20,000 job, logically, it would make sense that I can accumulate a $100,000 job. That's from my numeric standpoint. I think from a numeric value. But stack your undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Now, a quote from me, at some point, when do we get tired of living our old lives, our old perspective, and adjust those viewpoints at a higher realm? For some people, never. For me, it's now. You need to make the decision to start now. If your behavior never changes, you can learn all you want, but if your behavior never changes, you never learned. So you have to start now. Undeniable truth of how to eliminate external doubt, eliminate external skepticism. You have to start now. Whether that's the most minute thing, whether that's research, whether that's start an LLC, whether that's go and door knock, whether that's get a review. Start now. That's the biggest thing. If you can make that logic, if you can basically trick your belief system into thinking from a logistical standpoint, you will have those stacks of undeniable proof and inevitably propel yourself into a flourishing business owner. I know this is a lot, guys, but yes, the thing is, a lot of your friends are going to be doubt. I saw a post the other day. It was, if you post an Instagram photo and it gets 20 likes, but if your story gets 300 views, people don't particularly like you, but they're watching. So put them and give them a show. And I think when you can do that, and when you can think about it from that perspective, because people aren't going to like this decision. People aren't going to like when you succeed. People aren't going to like when you take substantial amounts of action. That's okay. And that's okay. But you know it's the righteous thing for you. You know it's the righteous decision for you. And the ability to excel, the ability to overcome the doubt, overcome the skepticism, it congregates within you. So sit back, sit on that. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a rant, that podcast. I wanted to come on here because I was thinking about this late at night. And I know that this could potentially help at least one individual. You've got this. You could do this. Doubt, skepticism is going to be everywhere, whether that's within your close circle, your close friends, your close family. But at the end of the day, you can do this. You know you can. Anyone can do it. Just do the boring things over and over and over again. Guys, I love each and every single one of you guys. I hope you have a great day. Peace out.